Your top stories this evening, sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. More than 40 people displaced after massive fire tore through an Albertown property. MP Duncan lashes out at Mahdia RDC and Town Council for unsanitary state of the playground. No charges years after 4.4-ton drug bust. Senior cop still under probe. Government to implement automated ID at CJIA. And in sport, Golden Jaguars trounces Belize 3-1 in 2026 CONCACAF series. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Travis Chase with the Wednesday, April 1 edition of the HGP Nightly News. Here's what you need to know this evening. More than 40 people, the majority of them Cuban nationals, are now without shelter after a massive fire tore through a 3-story apartment building in 5th Street, Albertown on Tuesday evening. More details in this report. The Guyana Fire Service was alerted to the blaze shortly before 7 p.m. and dispatched several fire tenders to the scene. By the time firefighters arrived, the predominantly wooden structure was already fully ablaze. Eyewitnesses reported seeing occupants fleeing the inferno, many with little more than the clothing on their backs, as thick smoke and intense heat made it nearly impossible to salvage personal belongings. A tenant who spoke with reporters described the ordeal as sudden and devastating.
Can't really say much, but what I can say is that I went to hang some clothes at the back, and I came in back. When I came in back, I smelled something burning, and I hear like people running up and down. And so I decided to lock my door. When I run out, the fire was already pelted, not from this side of the building, the right side. So I run to the back now because apparently like it started from upstairs somewhere at the back.
Firefighters battled the blaze for over an hour before bringing it under control. 2 adjacent buildings occupied by shipping companies sustained minor damage from smoke and water.
Just what I have on here and some documents. A lot of people was home, a lot. Because there's the running that actually caused my attention and the smell of something burning. So after I run out now, and I put my head and I see like the fire, I say, no, something. Before this thing come down and fall, let me run out and just save my life instead.
Authorities say the building, which once functioned as a secondary school, had been repurposed into rental units largely occupied by foreign nationals. Both the Guyana Fire Service and the police have since launched an investigation into the cause of the fire. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. A Partnership for National Unity's Member of Parliament, Sherrod Duncan, has lashed out at the relevant authorities for the deplorable state of the Mahdia recreational ground. Antonio Day is following this story.
Here we are in Region 8. Beautiful Mahdia, beautiful people, but this is the state of the recreational ground. The town council is manned by the PPP. The RDC is manned by the PPP. And yet, this is the state of affairs that kids got a plane man.
Sherrod Duncan, APNU Member of Parliament, highlighting the unsanitary and deplorable state of the Mahdia recreational ground. In a video statement, the Member of Parliament called out the Mahdia Town Council under the mayorship of the People's Progressive Party Civic, as well as the Regional Democratic Council, for abdicating their duties.
The quality of the material here, the place stinks, to put it seriously. And these guys are going to come in a couple of weeks and they're going to say, we care. Oh, this is going to be spruced up just now because we visited.
Sherrod Duncan emphasized that his party, along with members of the opposition, have a mandate to conduct regular oversight. He stated that they will continue to hold the government's foot to the fire until the facility is attended to.
This is how we do the work of members of parliament, holding government accountable and looking after the interests of our people.
In 2024, Cabana Marketing and Fantasy Gaming Lounge partnered to provide a luxury play park and outdoor gym for the residents of Mahdia. The turning of the South event took place at the Oval Community Ground in Mahdia, marking the start of this community enhancement project, tuned at $70 million. Nightly News contacted Mayor of Mahdia, Region 8, Elsin Hussein, who said that she's aware of the matter, but declined to comment. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
On HGP Nightly News, we tell you now that nearly 2 years after a joint operation involving the United States Drug Enforcement Administration and Guyana's Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit uncovered more than 4.4 tons of cocaine in Region 1, on September 1, 2024, no criminal charges have been filed locally in connection with the seizure. The 4.4 tons cocaine bust in Region 1 in 2024 continues to cast a long shadow over the Guyana Police Force. As the probe continues, Senior Superintendent of Police Himnat Shaw remains on administrative leave amid ongoing investigations into alleged links to an international drug trafficking network. Shaw was among several individuals sanctioned in June of 2025 by the United States Treasury Department, which accused him of facilitating the movement of narcotics through Guyana while serving as regional commander of Barima Waini. Speaking on the sidelines of an event on Tuesday, Minister of Home Affairs Onij Walrun confirmed that the senior officer is still off active duty as investigations continue.
As far as I'm aware, he is still on administrative leave, and yes, those allegations are being investigated.
According to the minister, complex financial and transnational crimes of this nature require detailed and time-consuming investigative work to ensure any potential prosecution is properly grounded.
Financial crimes of the kind that he has been accused of take a very long time. They're very meticulous, and it has to be done very carefully. We've seen how, even in other countries, how long it takes before a charge is actually laid.
She acknowledged that her most recent briefing on the matter was months ago, but indicated that she intends to seek an updated report on the status of the probe.
To Saw, I shall review where the investigation is, but having come from the bench and as a magistrate, I understand how careful work that has to be done for you to be able to get an effective prosecution or even to be able to lay a charge.
Saw was removed from his post in Region 1 shortly after the massive drug discovery, though he was never formally charged. At the time, several other ranks and civilians were also questioned as investigators sought to determine how such a significant quantity of cocaine moved through the region. International authorities have alleged that the trafficking network moved narcotics from South America through Guyana to destinations including the United States and Europe. Locally, however, the absence of charges, despite the scale of the seizure and the passage of time, continues to raise questions about the pace and progress of the investigation. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. Stay with us. You're watching the HGP Nightly News.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc., powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
Krishna Rao Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in all types of fabricating machinery, excavator repairs, rice field pumps, and hydraulic hoses. Visit us at Lot 113, Block CC, Manripo, East Coast and Marara, or call 220-9624, 629-4021, or 619-7880. At Krishna Rolf Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
Welcome back to the HGP Nightly News. The driving force behind a 34% decrease in calls is not simply better firefighting, it is better prevention. Fire Chief Gregory Wickham says the service has pushed deeper into communities across the country, engaging directly with the people most at risk and educating them about fire safety before emergencies occur. Here is more.
Against the backdrop of a recent fire which destroyed a 57-room apartment building in Albertown, which burned to the ground in under an hour, the news from the Guyana Fire Service this week offers a rare and genuinely encouraging counterpoint. Fire Chief Gregory Wickham, delivering remarks at the opening of the Guyana Fire Service Annual Officers Conference on Wednesday, held under the theme Fire Reduction Through Technological Innovation and Enhanced Community Engagement, did not provide overall statistics as to how many fires actually occurred during the last 12 months. He was, however, adamant to announce that overall recorded calls across the country dropped by a remarkable 34% over the past year. In previous years, he noted, the fire service was being crushed under the weight of the calls it was receiving. Today, that tide has turned.
As recent as last evening in Albertown, 5 water tenders turned up to stop what would have been a real catastrophe and contain that fire to one building. You know, this here is indicative of the fact that the support given to us is being used to positively impact the members and citizens of this our dear country.
The results have been vivid and tangible, according to Wickham. In several instances, he revealed firefighters arrived at scenes only to find that residents had already put out the fire themselves. A sign, he claimed, shows that the public education campaign is genuinely changing behavior on the ground.
Not only those who are in distress, but in positive ways, we will reach out to every citizen, ensuring that they receive the message of fire safety and fire prevention. We will continue to impact our societies, touching the lives of every citizen, every business owner, with the message of fire prevention and fire safety.
To keep the service sharp and fit for purpose as it embraces new technology and deepens its community partnerships. Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Tinted windows are now legally permitted within set limits, and motorists across Guyana are required from Wednesday, April 1 to comply with the country's updated vehicle regulations. The enforcement takes effect following the end of a 3-month grace period. Marvin Cato reports.
The Guyana Police Force commenced enforcing new tint measures on Wednesday, and according to the Minister of Home Affairs, Onij Wathran, on Wednesday's edition of Gordon Mosley's radio program, the new framework marks a significant shift from the previous system. She says this ensures vehicle tint is accessible to all drivers once it falls within the prescribed legal standards.
What we decided to do is to open up the regime, everyone is allowed to have tint, 20 to 25%. And I did those checks myself, and it's adequate.
There is defined policy, and the exemption is no longer required for tint waiver. However, exemptions for darker tints are in effect, which has to be applied for electronically. Vehicle owners are now required to ensure their tint levels are at 20% and 25% visible light transmission in order to be in compliance with the law. The new regulation is expected to aid with the Smart Country Security Project, whereby facial recognition cameras are going to be able to identify persons of interest using vehicles who commit criminal activities. The enforcement follows the conclusion of a 3-month amnesty period granted after the Motor Vehicles and Road Traffic Tint Regulations 2026 were gazetted earlier this year. Minister of Legal Affairs Anil Nandalal reminded those who may contravene the law what the consequences of those actions would be.
And if you have a tint that is darker than that which is permitted, you shall be liable for an offense and fined $30,000.
The Guyana Police Force had indicated that the grace period, which ended on March 31st, was intended to allow motorists enough time to adjust their tint levels without facing penalties. The new regulations also provide for exemptions for certain categories, including senior government officials, members of the disciplined services, emergency vehicles, diplomatic missions, licensed private security firms, businesses involved in high-risk cash handling, and individuals with certified medical conditions. These will be recorded in a national digital tint registry. Marvin Cato, reporting for HGP Nightly News.
The government of Guyana is taking significant strides to modernize travel experiences by introducing an automated passenger identification system at the CJIA International Airport. This initiative aims to streamline processing times for travelers, facilitating smoother and quicker transit through the airport. Antonio Day has more.
Guyana is modernizing travel at the CJIA International Airport, known as the CJIA, with an automated passenger identification system. This initiative, featuring biometric technology and facial recognition, aims to hasten processing for travelers. Nightly News understands that the initiative aims to implement face detection technology specifically for Guyanese travelers. One source familiar with the process noted that passengers will also be required to integrate their electronic identification card with the system. This integration will work alongside the facial recognition technology. This system will enable travelers to pass through the airport checkpoints directly and efficiently, reducing waiting times and enhancing the overall travel experience. According to the Department of Public Information, Minister of Public Utilities and Aviation Deardat Indar noted it supports Guyana's goal of becoming a regional aviation hub. Alongside digital enhancement, CJIA is also expanding to meet international standards, improving passenger experience and enabling efficient handling of increased traffic. These advancements position Guyana as a leader in airport operations, prioritizing efficiency, security, and connectivity. I'm Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Antonio. There is more news ahead. Stay with us.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
Welcome back to the HGP Nightly News. Minister of Local Government and Regional Development Priya Manikchand on Tuesday turned the sod for the construction of the new $40 million office for the Eccles-Ramsburg Neighborhood Democratic Council. Marvin Cato reports.
In an effort to improve services offered by local democratic organs, Minister of Local Government and Regional Development Priya Manikchand turned the sod for the construction of a new $40 million office for the Eccles-Ramsburg Neighborhood Democratic Council.
And it's going to be a new building catering for all the things that an NDC does. And that's the pattern we're going with across the country. This is the design, standardized almost.
According to the minister, The project marks a significant step in strengthening local governance infrastructure and improving service delivery to residents within the Eccles-Ramsburg community. The new facility is expected to be completed within 4 months and is expected to significantly improve working conditions. Construction of the modern NDC office follows the demolition of a previously dilapidated structure, which posed challenges to the effective functioning of the council. The new building is designed to provide a safe, efficient, and accessible environment for both staff and residents.
We're catering for the services that NDCs offer. So you're going to see across your country, all 70 NDCs either significantly rehabilitated or rebuilt from scratch or newly constructed where there was none. Manichan
emphasized government's continued commitment to enhancing local government systems and ensuring that communities are equipped with the necessary resources to function effectively. The Eccles-Ramsburg NDC serves a growing population along the East Bank corridor, and the new office is expected to significantly enhance administrative operations and community engagement. The Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development aims to modernize all infrastructure and strengthen governance at the community level across Guyana. Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Guyana had the distinguished honor of opening the 2026 St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival, which was hosted by the Pegasus Hotel in Kingston. Here's that story.
From April 30 to May 10, 2026, Castries will be transformed into a vibrant, open-air gallery as part of the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival's Art and City event. Under the stewardship of Chris Gustav, the festival, which opened in Guyana on Wednesday at the Pegasus Hotel, delivered a memorable evening that resonated deeply with the local audience.
My second event in Guyana, and it's special for me because the first one we were just starting to build. We did an introduction. And then as the marketing manager for the Caribbean, especially for this region, I'm seeing the numbers grow every month.
The Icon series pays tribute to a cultural luminary whose impact transcends the arts, spotlighting St. Lucia's rich culinary heritage with a bold theatrical production which brought compelling stories to life with performances that engage and inspire. Spoken word will also take center stage in Voices of the Underground, while Life in Color features striking visual art, while Titak Seat, Lucia showcases the skill and beauty of handcrafted traditions. Cinema lovers can enjoy the Jumpstart Film Project, presenting award-winning local and regional films that tell authentic stories and highlight creative excellence. Gustav pointed out that a new addition to this year will be the Artscape, which reimagines Castries through pop-up concerts and surprise performances in unexpected venues, where theater, dance, and music unfold spontaneously throughout the city. It will also feature impressive performances from celebrated St. Lucian artists like Boo Hingson, a gifted guitarist and singer Crystal Bailey, alongside local Guyanese guitarist Herbie Marshall. Like during the launch in Guyana, the event will begin with Boo Hingson, who will captivate the crowd with his solo guitar pieces before teaming up with Herbie Marshall for a dynamic collab piece. Adding a formal touch to the festivities, Chris Gustav, in presenting an engaging overview of the upcoming St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival 2026, highlighted the highly anticipated carnival scheduled to take place from July 1 to the 22nd, promising even more cultural vibrancy and celebration in months ahead. The event was well received by the local audience, who embraced the rich blend of music and culture with enthusiasm. The successful launch underscores the festival's role in promoting artistic collaboration and cultural exchange across the Caribbean region. Audiences can look forward to more immersive experiences that celebrate St. Lucia's unique artistic heritage and vibrant community spirit. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned for regional news.
Guyana, up your cash! Over 100 winners! More than $2.5 million in cash and prizes up for grabs. Win cash every week. Plus a chance to up your cash cash to $500,000. And that's not all. Win back your grocery bill up to $20,000 cash every week. Just grab any Buster Turbo Energy Drink, Fruitopia, Oasis flavored water, Fruita, or Viva Sparkling flavored water. Look for the code starting with BB, then visit at Buster Guyana on Facebook or Instagram for details. Up your cash today.
GCOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by June 30, 2026, and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. It is the civic duty and legal responsibility of all Guyanese who meet the eligibility criteria to apply for registration. By so doing, you will be ensuring that you are issued a national identification card and be included in the official list of electors for future elections, provided you meet all eligibility criteria. This registration exercise will end on May 29, 2026. You need to apply for a transfer if you now live at a different address than the one you were registered at. For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-02779 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Do you live and breathe video? Do you love capturing moments and turning them into powerful visual stories? HGP TV is looking for a talented, energetic, and creative video editor/camera operator to join our growing media team full-time. If you enjoy working in a fast-paced media environment, collaborating with creative teams, and producing high-quality television content, this opportunity could be perfect for you. Send your CV and portfolio or showreel to carolfelix@hgptv.com or melody_piper@hgptv.com. WhatsApp 6571706. If you're passionate about media and ready to create amazing content with us, we want to hear from you.
Good evening and welcome to Wednesday's edition of the Regional News. I'm Antonio D. Here's what you need to know as we turn attention to news in Jamaica. Jamaican government says an estimated 700,000 farmers across 6 central parishes will benefit from the $500 million Green Climate Fund project aimed at enhancing the climate resilience of vulnerable farmers over the next 5 years. The project title, Adapt Jamaica, Enhancing Climate Change, Resilience of Vulnerable Smallholders in Central Jamaica, represents the first ever single country climate investment that Jamaica has received from the GCF. Water, Environment and Climate Change Minister Matthew Samoda announced that around $40 million of an approved sum will be grant financing as the government seeks in addition $300 million for various projects. Upcoming announcements will benefit Jamaicans particularly in Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Elizabeth, Clarendon, St. Catherine and Manchester areas facing severe climate and food security challenges. Over to news in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The St. Vincent and Grenadines government says it has established a National Cost of Living Task Force, known as the NCLTF, to deal with rising energy prices as a result of the ongoing Middle East war. NCLTF is a strategic initiative approved by the Cabinet and responds directly to systemic threat caused by the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. It will concentrate on a dual approach of immediate relief and long-term structural change, with key fiscal measures included to advise on targeted tax relief to mitigate the effects of the Middle East conflict. The NCTF will work with CARICOM to explore alternative sourcing from partners like Guyana and Brazil to reduce the regional food expenditure. At the same time, the group will push for energy cooperation and renewable projects to lower utility costs. The government said that with Brent crude oil rising to $110 per barrel and shipping risk premiums increasing sharply, it is shifting from a reactive stance to actively addressing the inflationary shocks in energy, food, and logistics. It said the NCLTF will adopt a whole-of-nation approach to dismantle traditional operational silos. The task force, which is chaired by the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning and includes policy leadership from the Ministries of Foreign Affairs, Agriculture, Blue Economy, and Tourism. And finally, with international news, U.S. President Donald Trump says Iran has asked for the U.S., for a ceasefire and that he will only consider the request after the Strait of Hormuz is reopened. In response, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps said that the strait was fully under its control. Trump also suggested in an interview with a British newspaper that the U.S. is considering leaving NATO over what he cast as its lackluster military support for the Iran war. Trump also said he would state in the speech scheduled for Wednesday evening that he was considering withdrawing the U.S. from the NATO alliance. Asked when the United States would consider the Iran war over, Trump said, and I quote, "I cannot tell you exactly. We're going to be out pretty soon." Meanwhile, global oil supplies are expected to be hit twice as hard as the month of April, as in March. The International Energy Agency said on Wednesday, underlying the urgent need for an end to the conflict Trump began alongside Israel on February 28. That has brought us to the end of Wednesday's edition of the Regional News. I'm Antonio De saying, have a great evening and do be safe.
Let's join Delvin Neblet now for HGP's Sports Pulse.
Good evening, Guyana. I'm Delvin Neblet with your HGP TV Sports Pulse for today, Wednesday, April 1st, 2026. According to the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport, work continues to advance steadily at the New Amsterdam Track and Field Stadium, with significant progress already made and key phases of construction actively underway. This transformative project reflects the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport's ongoing commitment to the development of sport infrastructure across the country, creating modern, high-quality spaces where athletes can train, compete, and excel. Moving into chess, candidate masters Sachin Pitambur and Italy Tonchung are set to represent Guyana at the 4th South American Youth Games from April 12 to 25 in Panama City. The two-man contingent will be guided by coach Anthony Drayton. 15-year-old Pitambur recently won the National Open Championship and is the youngest Guyanese candidate master, while 18-year-old Tonchung is also an experienced competitor and one of Guyana's top junior candidates. Intergolf action took place in the penultimate round of the 2026 Promotech National Top Flight Golf League at the Lucia Golf Course on Sunday. Patrick Prashad emerged as champion ahead of Bala Vinjimur in second and Patanjali Prasad in third. Heading into the final round of competition, Patanjali Prasad sits atop the leaderboard on 18 points, just 1 point ahead of four golfers Brian Hackett, Joseph Zeblacki, Fazil Hanif, and Videsh Singh. Moving into cricket, the second match in the 2026 CWI 50 overs bilateral series between Guyana under-16 and Barbados under-16 was unfortunately abandoned as a result of consistent rainfall on Tuesday. After two attempts, conditions at the Lusignan Community Centre ground on both match days were deemed unsatisfactory for action in the Rising Star series to commence. Fixtures have now been relocated to the Police Sports Club ground Eve Leary on Wednesday and the Albion Sports Complex on Thursday. Finally, in football, action took place in the 2026 CONCACAF series with Guyana taking on Belize at Estadio Cibao in Dominica on Monday. Backing up his two-goal performance in the previous fixture, Ozazi de Rosario produced a dazzling hat-trick as the Golden Jaguars secured a comfortable 3-1 victory. That's it for this edition of the HGP TV Sports Pulse. I am Delwin Neblet reminding you to stay in the game.
Over 40 homeless after massive Albertown fire. Foreign nationals among displaced. MP Duncan lashes out at Mahdia RDC and Town Council for unsanitary state of the playground. No charges years after 4.4-ton drug bust. Senior cop still under probe. Government to implement automated ID at CJIA. And in sport, Golden Jaguars trounces Belize 3-1 in 2026 CONCACAF series. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Travis Chase. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.